going on, everybody? You made it to another weekend, and we are here to spend that weekend with you, at least for the next hour or so. We're here to spend it with you guys. I know we didn't have a show last week. I don't know if we're going to get into it, but we did not get a chance to record last week. I had a little bit of a minor surgery, and I was not feeling up for it, and I decided to get some rest. But we're back here this weekend. Don't forget, guys, to join... as always, follow us on social media, on Twitter at @theblown_save, and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget, you can also still reach out to us at theblown_save_podcast@gmail.com, or head on over to the blown_save_podcast.com and find out all about us. If it's your first time listening to us, head on over there. You get some information on me and my co-host, Mr. RT Casas. Set your calendars, SoCal residents. The Blown Save Podcast is proudly sponsoring the Waves Project inaugural Veteran Golf Classic on November 12th this year at the Temecula Green Inn Golf Resort. Lots of fun to be had. There will be a putting green contest, breakfast buffet, lunch, and lots of prizes with some awesome swag bags for players and raffle prizes that you can win while you're there. If you are interested in joining the event as a player or just wanting to come by and support, please head on over to wavesgolf.com for further information. But before I go any further, let me bring in the one, the only Mr. RT Casas. What's up, compadre?
Not much, just over here enjoying the weekend, ready to talk a little sports.
I feel like when we don't get to talk sports on Fridays, it feels unfulfilled to me. Like we didn't do our Friday like we were supposed to.
Right. Yeah, and especially since we missed last Friday too, because someone was.
I know. I was
hurt.
just talking about it off camera. I was saying how I had a minor surgery. And I wasn't up for literally. I wasn't up for recording a show last week. So we decided, with guidance from you as well, decided to not record the show. So we're here today, though. We got some stuff to cover, and we'll be good.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's fucking rock and roll, baby. Let's see where we're going to start off today. Golf. Yeah, I know we don't normally talk a lot about golf, but we're going to talk about golf right now. Former NBA star, yes, I know it's golf, guys. Just trust me. Former NBA star J.R. Smith petitions to play golf after enrolling at North Carolina A&T. He was drafted straight out of high school, so in his eyes, he never had a chance to compete in college. He is officially enrolled at North Carolina A&T as a liberal studies major, and his clock, quote-unquote, to compete as a collegiate athlete has not yet started because he went to the NBA right out of high school. Athletes in most cases get 5 years to compete, 4 years of eligibility per NCAA rules. An individual shall not be eligible for intercollegiate athletics in a sport if the individual ever competed in a professional team in that sport. That being said, there is no law to ban a former pro athlete from competing in a completely different sport. Multiple collegiate athletes have played professional sports before returning to school to compete in Division I athletics. What do you think about that, man? That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really interesting. I didn't know he was drafted out of high school. I kind of feel like he went and did something first before straight out of high school. I don't think he ever played college.
He didn't play college ball because I know in the article it reads that he was drafted out of high school.
I'd have to check that one. That doesn't sound right, but yeah, man. That's interesting. I would be very interested to see like how that plays out, and why not? If that dude technically he's not breaking any rules. I've never heard of this dude being any particularly good at golf, so I'm kind of curious about that too.
Apparently he has a 5 handicap in the PGA rank, not the PGA rankings, but I guess the Pro-Am, whatever.
Okay.
He's at a 5 handicap, so that's not terrible.
Right. So it's interesting. Why not? I mean, I don't know if he'd be able to pass a drug test.
That's completely. Yeah, but I mean, good for him, dude. He wants to go back, finish his education, and play.
I don't think he wants to go back and finish his education. He wants to do more to play.
He did sign up as a liberal. What is it? Liberal arts or liberal studies?
Oh, liberal. Why am I not surprised, huh?
Hold on here. Given the chance already, and let's just say you were, you're pretty decent at some golf, man. Given the opportunity, would you try to go back and jump in maybe a JUCO or a college team to go try and play golf?
Sure, why not? I mean, if it's possible, that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. And if you're that good, now you're gonna get smacked around and clowned on by some of these college athletes,
Yeah.
But I don't know how strong the golf game is at the college level. If you're really that good, you're already in the pros. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. But a lot of collegiate athletes, especially like in golf, that can't turn pro, right? Because if they were that good, they'd be pro. But they can't turn pro. They're pretty good, but they're not that good.
Are.
So,
right.
I mean,
you get all these dudes. They're like, what are they called? Pros. The golf pro? No. Club pro? Is it called the club pro?
Yeah, club pro.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're the pro at that particular club or whatever,
Yeah. But I don't think that would go against the D1 considerations of being a professional athlete in the sport. But hey, given the opportunity, I know I would jump at the chance to go back and play D1. If he has the skill to play D1, why not? Fuck it. Let him go back and play. And if he makes it on, if he earns a spot on the team, not if they hand him one because he's famous, but because I did read in the article that the coach was saying that it'd be really good for the team. It'd be really good for the school to have him on the team. So hopefully they're not just going to hand him one, but hopefully he earns his way on there and he does a good job.
All right.
Maybe
All right.
A bunch of older cats going to get off the couch and go go back to school. I want to play again.
I wonder what LeBron is gonna. That mean LeBron's gonna go play football?
Hey, he could technically.
Right. Good.
I don't know if his body can handle it at that point, but he could technically do it.
Right. I mean, based on that criteria, right? I mean, LeBron be a dude.
Mm-hmm.
What about like Russell Wilson? Oh no, but he was drafted by the Yankees. Say Russell Wilson, who played who's a good baseball player. It was at the college level.
Yeah.
So
he still plays spring training with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got drafted though, so he wouldn't be able to go back and play at the college level.
Right.
But I think he played at the college level anyways.
He may have. Yeah.
Yeah. But wait, he played football, so it's someone that didn't play anything right at the college level and didn't play it at the professional level, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I would have to be like a LeBron James. Right? I would say a LeBron.
Who else would you put in that little span of going?
Maybe like some baseball players are good basketball players,
Yeah.
Because baseball players are always getting drafted out of high school now,
Yeah.
That ain't nothing new.
I'm having problems here with my mic.
Yeah. I would say baseball players that got drafted out of high school would probably fit that criteria type of a deal.
Sweet.
All right, sticking with the NBA.
Go for it.
After turning down an $80 million extension, Dennis Schroeder signs for $5.9 million with the Celtics. For those of you that don't know who Dennis the Menace is, he was with the Lakers, and the Lakers had traded for him from not the Wizards, where Westbrook played, Oklahoma City Thunder. Some people I just personally think can't handle LA, so good for him. Good riddance. I'm glad you got out of here, and I feel the same way about Dwight Howard when he left us.
Well,
You just
Dwight
can't
Howard's
handle
back
it.
again.
So, yeah, for a second time, right? Or
Third
time technically.
Third
Third
time.
time. But still, I ain't never seen him the same way. I was,
Yeah.
not meant for you. Time for you to go.
Absolutely. What else we got going on in the world of basketball?
Mad props to the basketball teams, both the men and women's Olympic sports teams, I guess. The Dream, formerly known as the Dream Team.
Yeah.
They both won the gold. Men's basketball got off to a really bad start, dude. I mean, like, horrible start. And everybody was like, oh, they need to get rid of this. They can't just come from playing, their sport straight into this without, like, gelling together or anything like that. And, dude, they were losing to teams, countries we barely even heard of and stuff like that. And, man, they made it all the way to the title game against France. And, Kevin Durant was a beast, dude. Beast. And sealed the victory for for Team USA,
I
which
heard
was
he
pretty
I
nice.
heard he came out and said like he felt like he had been passed the torch and he dropped it, allowing the U.S. men's basketball team to start off that bad, and he felt it was his responsibility to make sure that they brought home the gold.
Yep. And what was cool, I believe he's the only player to ever average 20 points in like an Olympic round of competition.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. In terms of for the USA.
Right on.
For the USA, because you know they usually spread the love, but I believe he's the only one to ever average 20 points. But the girls, dude, they're on a whole another level. They're like, you know, they talk about dream team. That's like a dream dynasty, bro. They just kill everybody. I don't know when was the last time they didn't win gold. What I thought was pretty cool was I don't remember her name. The coach is it Cheryl Swoops? I forgot. I just don't remember who it is. But she's became the first former player and now turned coach to win the gold medal for as a female.
I
thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty damn awesome.
Their head coach. So I forgot her name right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
But she's out of Philly, which is pretty cool. Yeah, man. So that's what's what with that. What about? I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I just put a whole bunch of little things for us to just kind of talk on and touch real quick.
Right.
But here's another one. So last time me and you hung out together, we're watching the USA versus Mexico in the title game of the. You're probably better at that. But what was the title
Copa
game?
de Oro.
Copa de Oro, right?
Yeah, the Gold Cup.
And you were telling the wife the stat, right? And I forgot the stat, but basically USA had only won one other time, right? When they matched up like that.
Right.
What was the stat? Do you remember?
It of all the times Mexico and the U.S. had met in the Gold Cup final, and they've met there a bunch of times. I don't remember the number anymore. But of the times that they have met, the American team has only won one other time in the history of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. They only won one other time other than this last time that they won.
So here's my thing. I always think this is an interesting topic when it comes who to root for, right? Because I always get a lot of people get an uproar, and I just don't get it, dude. I just don't get it.
Right.
So
but hold on, before we go there, for those of you guys listening, so both Artie and I are of Mexican descent. So we were both born in this country, right? You were born here?
Right.
Okay, so we were both born in the country. We're both, was it second or third generation or further being born here. And
first.
Are you first? Oh, my bad. My bad. Well, I guess my mom's side, I'm first. On my dad's side, I'm like 97th, whatever.
Oh, damn.
But well, my dad, we always
explains
joke.
a lot now.
My my dad's side of the family, we've been in every war since the Alamo. So.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, seriously, we've been in like
funny.
almost every fucking war. That's why I was, military. But anyways, going on a tangent there. But yeah, no. So we're both of Mexican descent. So me and him both always get kind of back and forth between who to root for. Go ahead, Artie. I wanted you to finish the.
Yeah. So my thing is, everybody, if you're Mexican American, you automatically. I don't understand why everybody feels like you have to root for Mexico. I don't understand. I'm of Mexican descent, but I didn't grow up in Mexico.
Right.
So like, I have a hard time rooting for Mexico when the U.S. is playing them. That makes sense. That doesn't mean I don't want Mexico to do well or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just cheering for the U.S. Anytime that the U.S. and Mexico are playing each other, like if you're making me pick somebody, I'm picking the U.S., right?
Yeah.
But again, like it's not like I'm totally against Mexico, because anytime Mexico is playing anybody other than the U.S., I'm clearly cheering for them. And I don't understand why people make it such a big deal where, oh, you're not really Mexican if you're not cheering for Mexico when they play the U.S. It's like, why? What dictates that? Like, what? I don't understand. Explain that to me. I don't know.
I'm with you there. I've been cut in the middle before. I used to go watch the Mexico games next door with the neighbors, and I mean to be cheering for Mexico, of course, right? That's part of our heritage and whatnot. But anytime they play the U.S., it's like, come on, man. I was born here. I fought for this country. My dad fought for this country. My grandpa, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, we all fought for this country. Like, I'm going to hold up the Star Spangled Banner every time, right? I mean, I would wish they would both be able to win, right? But if one's in and the other one's not, I'm rooting for that team. Obviously, like you said, if Mexico's in but they're not playing the U.S., let's just say they're playing Paraguay or some shit, then I'm rooting for Mexico to win, because obviously I want, La Raza to fucking win. But if they're playing the U.S., like, hey, man, I was born here. I fought for this country. Like, I'm rooting for the States every time.
Right.
So,
I'm with you, dude.
We do get tons of flack for that.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Unless you're born in Mexico,
Uh-huh.
like even that. But again, I don't understand. Well, I don't get it why you have to. Like it's such a big deal or such a bad thing. It makes no sense to me. Like none. I haven't heard a good explanation from anybody. Like other than gibberish that they talk that they think is a good explanation.
Well,
I've never heard a good explanation.
What's one of the gibberish things that maybe off the top of your head that you remember?
You're not really Mexican unless you're cheering for Mexico.
Well, I'm American. If somebody asks me what nationality I am,
Right.
well, I'm American. They're like, no.
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
like-
mean? I mean, where are you from? I'm from
Right.
fucking L.A. Shit, dude. What do you want me to tell
and
you?
I tell, and like one thing I spit back at people is like, okay, do you know the words to the national anthem for Mexico? Okay, and they'll probably say no. It's like, do you know the words for the national anthem for the most part to the U.S.? And they're like, yeah. So okay, well, you're not really Mexican then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's true.
Because I mean, you know one but not the other. Don't get me wrong, you could hum it probably, but you don't really know the words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And I was like, why? So that that in theory should make you not Mexican, right?
This is true.
Right? Because
True-
it's a
true
national
words.
anthem.
Hey, truer words have not been spoken. I've heard.
So I kind of saved that bullet for the last one. You know? Like, well, yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell
Keep
me
going,
more.
keep going, keep going. Bam!
yeah.
Here's the
Yeah.
here's the
Keep
chingazo. you're
digging
with.
that grave. Keep digging that grave. Go for it. Go for it. I'll tell you when to stop. I'll tell you when to start. You know?
I'm with you there, though, dude. That's
So-
that's good. That's good.
I need to get that off my chest.
No worries, no worries. I'll let you stay on the soapbox for a little longer. If
Yeah.
you need to,
And I
Papa.
just love like setting people up for that. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah?
get some flack
yeah?
for this.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. And I'm sure, and that's fine. And I get it. But again, if I was born in Mexico, I get it, right? Like, okay, I get why you're on me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't. And you cheering for Mexico does not make you more Mexican than me. If you were born here,
This is very
it does
true.
not make you more. If you speak better Spanish than me, which I speak better Spanish than you, Brent, and
I'm
I
not
don't
saying you
speak good
don't.
Spanish. No. I'm trying to give you an example.
Oh, okay.
I speak better Spanish than you, and I don't speak good Spanish, right? Like I speak pretty good,
Uh-huh.
but I don't speak it very good. And I get flack for not speaking like very good Spanish. So it's like, speaking better Spanish does not make you make more Mexican than me.
This is true.
Visiting Mexico more often than me does not make you more Mexican than me. Like, if you were born here and both of your parents are Mexican, there's no way you could be more Mexican than me. Impossible. Impossible. It's just not.
You're more Mexican than me then, because my dad was born in Texas. So.
Okay.
There
Well,
you go.
in fairness, my mom was too, and then they hopped the border and went right back to Juarez.
Oh, well, then there you go. We're the same.
Yeah, a little different. A hair. You're talking about like 20 people have been over here since like 1800 or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
another. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So my mom, they literally, hopped the border, had her, and then like went back, then
Yeah.
filed paperwork and stuff like that. Something like that. That's a story.
Hey,
I've asked a couple of times. They don't really
if
give me
it
answers,
works,
but I
it
know that's how I
works.
went.
There you go. Hey, back in the day, it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And I see you wearing a RT Soldier tank top right there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. September
I
should
hope I
be
get one.
launching. Then we'll get one. Yeah.
We'll talk about that when it comes along a little bit
Yep.
sooner, because I know it's going to be a sponsor of the show.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll rock and roll there. Let's see here. What else we got here? We were talking about soccer right now, so we got one more. We got one more topic about soccer. The girls' soccer team, the American,
two more.
the women's national team. There we go.
Mhm. Yes.
They ended up. They were heavy favorites to win the gold, and they walked away with the bronze medal this year.
Right. I believe it's a bronze. They lost to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to Canada. So I wanted to get your thoughts or just your opinions, or I don't know, man.
Okay.
But they were on like a big team with like equal pay, right? Because obviously they're in the bigger limelight because they had won 2 consecutive World Cups and all that stuff, and they weren't getting paid like the men's. And they were just highlighting it. And I personally think, hey, good for you. You're taking advantage of the spotlight you had. Now that you lost, do they have the same spotlight? Do they have the same arguments in terms of like equal pay and stuff like that? I think it's a touchy and tricky subject,
It is,
right?
and I know you put on here a serious question, so I'm going to take it
Yeah.
seriously. I'm not going to joke around about it. I think their track record should speak for themselves. I think they've won more championships per capita than the men's national team. And if the men's national team is making more money, then I do believe the women's national team needs to be making the same amount of money, because they're actually bringing back more championships. They've won the World Cup a few times. The men's national team has never won the World Cup. They've never gotten into the Final Four, in fact. Where the women's national team has won it a few times, right? They've won. The women's national team has won the Gold Cup a bunch of times. They've won. There's another one that they play in, and I can't think of the name of it right now. But they've won so many of these. They've got so many accolades. They've won the Olympic gold 4 years in a row until this year. They're just a powerhouse when it comes to the women's national team. I think, honestly and wholeheartedly, they need to get paid at least the exact same amount as the men. I know that maybe some people are going to look down. Hey, well, they fucking lost this year. And it's and a lot of people are talking about, them losing as like karma because one of them kneeled down and then this and that and yada yada. Just, it's been getting like a really big political thing around that around their wins and losses, especially this year. But honestly, in my opinion, I think that they still won bronze, man. They still medaled.
Yeah, they were gold. They were medaled. Yeah, they medaled.
Yeah, they medaled. And they're bringing home a medal to the United States. Like, what? There's 90 other fucking countries out there who didn't even get a medal. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Sometimes the ball rolls in your direction and you hit it right. And sometimes it rolls in the other direction and you don't hit it right. I mean, it is what it is. That should have no bearing as to their qualifications to be able to make that kind of that pay.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
I agree with you on this part. Okay. The girls' soccer team has the same, if not a bigger following than the men's national team right now. So because of that, I think they should have equal pay. And then what their thing is, I think where they're maybe approaching it wrong. Maybe I don't know if I'm saying this right. And I don't even have all the details on it.
Right.
But I kind of feel like they're also trying to help the other sports, right? And I think that's where it's going wrong for them, because other sports don't have the notoriety that they do. So in my opinion, until you get that kind of notoriety or you're producing that level of audience, I can't think of a better word, then why would someone want to pay you that? That's how leagues fold, because you want to get more than what's actually happening. So let's say, and I'm just throwing it out there, right? And I don't know all the numbers, I don't know all the details, but let's say the WNBA versus the NBA. I mean, you can't pay WNBA players because WNBA players are trying to get people in the stands. NBA has people in the stands. Does that make sense?
No, I'm with you.
Like something small like that. So you can't really compare them. So in terms of trying to get that same salary.
Yeah.
But because of that, I think the same thing. The U.S. Women's soccer does get the people in the stands. So of course, I think they should be getting paid. So if you're producing, you should get paid for it. Does that make sense?
Oh, I agree with you there.
My opinion.
No, I'm with you there. I remember I was in Vancouver a few years ago, and I had the opportunity to go watch the men's U.S. soccer team or the women's U.S. soccer team, and I went and watched. I picked to go see the women's national team play instead of the men's national team, just because you're right. The women's team is, when it comes to soccer now or football, they have a lot more notoriety than the men's team does, or their female counterparts in other sports. I don't think that in the other sports they have as much notoriety or as much pull, as you're trying to say, to get people in the stands, to get people to watch. I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the WNBA game, but I could tell you the last time I watched the women's national team. I pretty much watch them almost all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I probably know 10 of the girls that are, or the ladies, I should say, that are in the women's national team. I couldn't give you 10.
Where'd you meet them? How'd you know them?
I mean, I know their names. I know their names, right?
I see.
I couldn't give you 10 of the anybody in the WNBA.
Oh, I could.
Honestly, I can't. No, nobody that's
Diana Taurasi. She's from Chino, homie.
Bro, okay. Well, once again, me, not you, me, right? So I think you're right. The notoriety to be able to pull. I think the women's national team should be getting that. I mean, everybody should get equal pay, right? But as in sports, you get paid for what you do, right? Or sometimes you get paid for what you did and what they're hoping you're going to do. You're just going to need to have that following behind you to pull more money in. So it's kind of it really is a touchy subject when it comes to who gets paid more and this and that, yada yada. Why do they get paid more than they? But if we're just talking the women's national team, then I think they have plenty of notoriety. I think they have plenty of pull. They have plenty of star power to be able to get paid, if not equal to the men, maybe a little bit more, because they have more accolades than the men's national team.
Right. I agree. If you have the substance, you should get paid for it.
Absolutely. That's why some of these basketball players, NFL players, baseball players get paid, hundreds of millions of dollars to play the sport, because they have that notoriety, they have that pull, and they're that good.
Yep. So. I agree.
You got something else here? Somebody sad about Messi?
My poor Messi, right? So it's kind of sad because I read a story about him talking about like how when he first got to even just get the tryout, right, to go to Barcelona, he was like this like 10-year-old kid or 12-year-old maybe at the oldest, and he was like, he was born with like a growth disorder or something like that, right, where he just wasn't going to be very big. So then the coach that was there to kind of like scout him, or the main thing, he was already on the pitch with Barcelona, and he was playing against older kids, right, like 16-year-olds or whatever, and he was just carving them up. But the coach came in like through the wrong gate or something like that, and so he actually saw he saw Messi playing from afar, from like early on, like, and he was like, "Damn, who's that little kid?" And by the time he got all the way around where he was at, like he already had his mind made up, like, I want that dude. I want this dude in the club. I want him in the program. We need this dude, right? And so that's the story of the legend of how Messi came with Barcelona, how he got signed, right? And he spent his whole career, like he basically grew up with them until the legend he is now. But there were some kind of technical difficulties with his contract or something like that, with the organization, not Barcelona, but like FIBA or whatever the hell it's called, or
FIFA?
I really don't know. Not I don't know that it's FIFA, but anyways, whatever the organization, there was some kind of technicality that was causing him to not come back to Barcelona, because he was talking about a year ago, I didn't want to be here, he was saying, right?
Yeah.
He's and then we figured everything out and we worked things out and I want to be here, and now I just couldn't be here because of a technicality, is what he said, right? And he was crying, dude, like during his exit interview with Barcelona. And he's like, I grew up here. This is my life. This is my home. This is my family, right? Like everything is me here, right? So then he left and he signed with Paris for on a 2 or 3 year deal. I forgot what it was. Mm-hmm. But I mean, insane numbers. He's like making 40-something mil a year, something like that. So yeah, man. So it's just sad. People were like crying, like end of their era in Barcelona and stuff. Like, dude, he is the main reason I started playing, like watching FIFA. He's part of the reason I call my son Lionel, because the name is originated from his, because his is Lionel, right? Basically in English, but they say Lionel, right? And I saw that, and I told my wife, I said, oh, what about spelling it with the E instead of an I, like Lionel Messi, right? Mm-hmm. And she really liked it. So man, dude, like it hits kind of home too to see him go. Now I'm not from Barcelona, so don't hit quite like that.
Yeah.
But it is just sad to see him be sad,
Yeah. I had heard that he was offered the extension and he said no. So I didn't know this, that he wasn't eligible for it.
Right, because he didn't want to be there, and then there was some kind of technicality. I don't know what that technicality was though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I knew.
Do you think he comes back later?
I don't know how all that works. I don't even know the damn technicality. You would think if he comes back later, why not just sign a 1-year deal and then come back?
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I would think. Instead of signing a 2 with like a 3-year option or something like that is what I saw.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
All right. Well, sorry to say, Mr. Messi, you are out of Barcelona and with Betty now. So, good luck.
Yeah.
Godspeed, and yeah.
He did reunite with Neymar down there.
Oh yeah, he's with Neymar's ass.
Yeah.
Let's see. We were talking about the girls' soccer team and then getting bronze. I do have the Olympic rundown, dude. The USA came out with 113 medals total. beating the next closest country, which is China. They had 88. So the U.S. kind of cleaned up there. They only got one more gold than China did. USA had 39 gold. China had 38. And then next was Japan with 27, Great Britain 22, and the Russian Olympic Committee with 20. So congratulations to the American Olympiads who were out there and won the medals. Congratulations. We brought home 39 gold, like I said, 41 silver, and 33 bronze, totaling 113. So thank you guys for representing the U.S. of A in the right way and getting things done. So thank you.
Yep.
Speaking of which, what do 60% of the American gold medals from Tokyo have in common, Artie?
Swimming.
No. 113 of those medals that the Americans are bringing home. The American women won 66 of them, totaling 58.4% of the total medals. Of the 39 gold medals, the women were responsible for 23 of them. Giving the women their second highest total in American Olympic history, previously of 59%, now 58.4 is their second highest. So the women are leading the way when it comes to the Olympic sports right now, man. Like, they're the reasons why we're bringing home so many medals, especially the gold ones.
Not surprised, sir.
Not surprised. Olympic. Did you hear about this? The Olympic French marathon runner finished 17th after wiping opponent's water to the ground. For those of you guys out there, and realistically us, I think, who have never run a marathon, right? At least I don't think you've run a marathon. Have you, Artie?
No. I drove a marathon once.
I did a marathon movie watch. I did that before. Throughout the course, they set up tables for runners to be able to snag cups or bottles of water to hydrate as they go when they're running. The incident happened on the second half of the 26-mile race when the temperatures were climbing north of 84 degrees and the humidity was just killing it, right? Morhad Amdouni, 33-year-old, was seen in a cluster of runners approaching a water station. As he reached out for a bottle, a bottle of water, he knocked down a whole row of freaking bottles of water before grabbing the very last one, leaving nothing for the guys that were in his pack right behind him. So there have been two different opinions on this one, Artie, and I'm going to give you both of them, and I want you to tell me what you feel happened, okay? One, he did it on purpose, trying to take advantage of being able to rehydrate while not allowing his immediate opponents to do the same. Or two, running at that speed, in that heat and that humidity, it was all an accident. He just tried to grab it, he couldn't grab, and he finally grabbed one. But he happened to just knock down all the other ones. What do you think?
I'd have to see it to really give a...
The link is right there, buddy. The link is right there. I left it right there for you.
Let me see here. Man.
And I'll let you watch it while I keep talking here. When I watch this, and I watched it a few different times, it legitimately looks like he holds his hand out and he knocks all of them over, and then the last one he grabs it and goes. And there's not it's not a huge table. It's just like a row of bottles of water. So it's like you don't give anybody the opportunity to grab anything at that point.
I'm trying to click it to play, but it's not playing.
Damn Apple products.
Stop taking my line.
I mean, I've run like 5Ks. I've run 7Ks. I did a 12-miler one time. And I know those water stations or those hydration stations are like the real thing. So it's to me, it's trying to take a competitive advantage against your opponents. But in running, there's only so much that you could do to cheat. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of a shady-ass move to me.
So you really think he did do it, huh?
I think he did it on purpose. He came out and said, man, it was an accident. But when you get to see the video, Artie, because I know you haven't seen it yet, you're pulling it up on your phone.
Yeah, because it's acting up on inside the dock.
When you see it, it legitimately looks like he just holds his hand out. And like, you know those like commercials or like those cartoons where they go to like the grocery store and they clear out a whole row like an aisle of like, you know, candy or whatever. It looks like he just did that, but with the water bottles. It's fucking hilarious.
All right. All right, here it is. It's finally playing on my cell phone. So, did he look like in sincerity, like he accidentally did it? Like when you said he said like, "Oh man, blah blah blah." Does he look like he
Well,
sincerely
he
was like,
doesn't
"Oh man"?
say like I never saw a video of him talking about it. It was just a reporter that got word that this is what he said.
All right. What's that? You ran more marathons? What's the most you ever ran when you were doing boot camp and stuff like that? I
Uh,
would imagine that's
in
like equivalent to a marathon, right? When you're in the military.
in the military, the longest I ran was 18 and a half miles in
I
boots.
I think you gotta tell people the story because I think that's one of the coolest things ever.
What?
What you told me about like about running because you hated it and stuff like that, and you're all
Oh,
like,
when I
"Oh
hit the
hell
wall.
no!" Yeah, and you're like,
So,
so
so for those of
you
you
told
guys,
me the story.
so for
You're
those of
like,
you maybe new listeners out there, so I was in the Marine Corps for about 8 years, and one of the times when we were getting ready to go off to Iraq, we were obviously doing some training. We went out and did a boots and ute run, which basically what that means is you're running out there in your combat boots, your camouflage bottoms, and then a t-shirt, and we start running. And we're, going this and that, yada, yada. Young Brent is very healthy and very athletic. So 5 miles in, we're like, all right, we're cool. Like, we did it. Let's head back. And every time we looked like we were going to head back, we just kept running and running and running and running. And we ended up running, God, I want to say about 12, 13 miles before we started turning back. And on the way back, people talk about the wall. Runners hit a wall, right? And I never understood that until this point. When we were coming back, I hit that wall and I legitimately like collapsed. And I hit the ground and I couldn't my body said no fucking more, right? And
Nice.
I couldn't I was very dehydrated. I was very I don't want to say out of my mind, but I was just not all there. I had my captain came back and he picked me up and he said, "All right, Sanchez, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put one foot in front of the other right now. Put one foot up." And my wall-stricken ass put one foot down and he's like, "Okay, the next one." He's, "I'll do it again." And then I slowly trotted, but like I learned one the hitting the wall is fucking real, guys. Stay fucking hydrated. I drink more water because of that day than anything else. And two, you can push your body past anything. But I wish y'all could see how I ran the last like 6 miles, because I was like, my head was hanging off to the side, my arms weren't swinging, and I was just kind of like. But it was,
funny.
I mean, but hey, we did 18 and a half miles that day, and my captain, I remember he told us, he's like, it's better to be tired and stuff now and know that you can do this than be in the combat environment and something happen and you have to run and you don't know how far you're going to have to run and be able to make it the whole way.
So this is the water stuff. There.
What was that?
Sorry, it's him showing it.
Did you finally see it?
Yeah. So you also got to you didn't put this setup very good too. So this dude's kind of like in the middle of the pack,
Yeah, that's what I said. He was
right?
in the pack.
Yeah, but like dead center, you could kind of barely see him. But in fairness too, there is a whole nother row that they could get. He just knocked down the closest row to them. I don't know, man. I could go with either one. I'm looking it over right now, like 3, 4, 5 times right now. He didn't look like he was swiping.
No, he looked like, I said he looked like he put his hand out and he just cleared him out until he got to the last one and then grabbed it. Because it isn't, to me, it doesn't look like his hand's like trying to grab something. It just looks like his hand is out until the very end and then he grabs it.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does.
Like,
man, if I had to pick another one, I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But man, I could see either one. You gotta be hella stupid though, too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because after the first one you knocked down, you would think you'd kind of stop a hair more, right?
Yeah. Or
not
like,
wait till the
put your
last
hand
one.
out
And
put
how
your
is it
hand
you
out.
get the very last one? Really?
Yeah, like you
Is
clear
this your
that
first
whole row and you only got
Bro,
the last one.
is this his first marathon ever running?
It is not. It is not.
You know?
He knows what
I
he's
mean,
doing.
there's, yeah, you know, I'll say Kabush. No one.
You heard it here first, guys. We were calling bullshit
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, I think it was him trying to look like he wasn't trying to cheat, but in the end, I mean, karma got to him. He ended up 17th. So, fuck
Yeah.
it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy, guys. Nobody likes that guy. Don't be that guy.
Nope. For sure.
All right. So I really wanted to get your opinion on that one. That one's actually pretty cool. And
Yeah,
I got
that
to
was
tell a story
interesting.
about when I was in the Marines. So.
Yeah, and that's not the story I was asking for, but
Which
it's
one?
all right. It was pretty. I just thought it was cool how you told me one time. I asked you like, dude, running, you had ran them more before, or blah blah blah. And you said, look, you're like, you know what got me through it? I kept telling myself, there's been a million other
Oh,
Marines
yeah.
that did this,
That was
and
during
there's
boot
gonna be a
camp.
million more than me. So suck it up and just do it, right? Like
Yeah.
with every step, something to that effect. You just basically
so
told
that was
yourself, you're like,
was during boot camp, especially trying to get through
that's what I
Marine
said
Corps
during
boot
boot
camp.
camp. Yeah.
I'm not the fastest runner in the world, and I got yelled at a lot, and I got in trouble a lot. And what they did was ITU. It's called intensive training. They got a new word for it now. But what they do is, I mean, it's just to fuck with you and to get you prepared to be a Marine, right? And without going off into too many different things, like there were points during the training that I was at the breaking point. I was like, oh my god, dude, like I can't do this anymore. Like I don't know if I made the right decision. And then I had a gut check talk to myself, and I was like, you know what? There have been hundreds, if not thousands, of recruits that come through these halls that have completed what I'm trying to do now. And I had friends who had just completed what I had just what I was in the middle of doing right now. And I told myself, if they can do it, if they can get through this, then I can get through this, and the people behind me can get through this. Like it made it like it was like a switch that went off in my head, dude. That was like, nah, dude, I can fucking do this shit. Like a lot of people can't, but a lot of people have, and I will, and a lot of people behind me will as well. And
Right.
and it
Were people looking at you funny when you're talking to yourself like
very
that?
much so, yeah. They thought I was going crazy. They put me on watch, bro. Come on. But it was one of those things where it changes your perspective at things. Like when you go like, nah, dude, like, hey, many people have come before me. Many people will come after me. What I do here matters. They did it so I can do it, and I'm doing it so they can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yay, yay! And from the Marine Corps, and from the Marine Corps to the NFL. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Hall of Fame inductions. Eli Manning had a brutally honest admission on Peyton's induction. Eli went on to say that from the ages of 10 to 14 in the summer, in front of their street, he would wear a sweatshirt filled with pillows up and down his sleeves and his chest, so that he could catch passes from Peyton Manning.
Could imagine. It's
right.
a little brother.
And he did that so he wouldn't come home all bruised and in pain for days, right? He said, if it's not mentioned in your speech and I am not personally thanked for it, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. So, I mean, it was a joke, right? You know, between the brothers or whatever. But with all seriousness, he did congratulate his big brother, who had one of the best speeches that I've heard in a long time. He took jabs at Ray Lewis for his long speech in, I believe, 2016. He was joking about Tom Brady and not being inducted until 2035 because he's going to play for another 20 years. Going down in a Hall of Fame greatness, talking about the bus of the Hall of Fame, playing games and talking to each other at night and forever being enshrined in that. I feel bad for whoever did their speech after his. I hope they let him go last because I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but he knocked it out of the park, dude.
So it's kind of like Andy after my speech, right?
Yeah, just like at my wedding, man. You were the Peyton Manning at my wedding, bro.
That's funny. Andy was not happy with you.
Andy was nice. Like, I gotta go after this motherfucker. God dang. All of them were like, bro. Well, everybody got to go before you was like, dude, thank God I went before Artie, man.
Right.
Everybody after you was like, God damn it.
That's funny. Turbo Diesel.
Shout out to Kobe Turbo Diesel. Yeet, yeet. From the hall to the front stage, I should say. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson non-committal about the COVID-19 vaccine after contracting the virus twice, coming off the COVID exemption list for the second time. Jackson said to reporters when asked if he would get the vaccine now, "I just got off the COVID list. So I've got to talk to my team about this and try and see how they feel about it. He also added, I'm going to keep grinding as much as I can about it, and I'm going to go from there. When asked again later on if he would get vaccine, he said, "We'll see. Talking to the doctors, we'll see." He later added he felt getting the vaccine was a personal decision. I'm just going to worry about that with my family and keep my feelings and my family to myself. I'm focused on getting better right now, and I can't dwell on that right now and how everybody else feels. What do you feel about his decision about not getting the vaccine, at least for now, not getting it? And do you think this hurts his fantasy status? Because it's not the first time he gets it. It's the second time he gets it already. So you know crazy. That he hasn't been really, following all of the quarantine protocols.
Right. I mean, damn, dude, you catch it twice. Once, I get it, but twice? Come on now. What you waiting for?
Do you think it hurts his
I'll tell you what, I'm not reaching for him.
If you get him in the 10th round, buddy, you going to go get him?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. He won't fall the 10th, but something like that.
Yeah. Do you think he is going to fall a little lower than he would normally?
He would. I think he's like maybe I don't know, 4th, 5th rounder, and I think I probably would not go from until the 7th, 8th. I don't know. It just kind of depends how everything else plays out for me,
Yeah, I got you there. I would think that I've had him. I think last year I had him in a couple leagues. I don't think I had him the year before that, but I did pick him up pretty like in the 4th, 5th round. But I do think he is going to drop a little bit. Maybe not, obviously 10th rounder, but he is going to drop a bit because of this. At least if anybody's paying attention. Maybe we slip that into our at the draft. Like, oh yeah, did you hear you got COVID twice, bro? Like, you don't know, he might be fucking falling off the handle. You better not get him right away.
But wouldn't it catching it 3 times be like getting struck by lightning?
Hey, if he gets it a 3rd time, bro. I mean, come on. How hard do you have to be working at not paying attention to what you're doing to get it twice?
Right.
In his position, it's not like he has to go fucking work in the trenches every day.
Right. I
He's
agree.
He's in a position of privilege where he can have all the things he needs to have to stay safe, and yet he's not gotten it once, he's gotten it twice.
Right.
And that's my thing. I think he's not taking care of himself the way he should be. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Going from one quarterback to another, Texas native Patrick Mahomes, he misses Whataburger so much, he's bringing it to Kansas City. Mahomes is a part of a franchise group that will bring 30 Whataburger restaurants to Missouri and Kansas, with the concentration of those franchises being in the Kansas City area. He's saying, I love Kansas City and I love Whataburger. I'm excited to help bring a gift from my first home to my second home. Now, Artie, I know you've had Whataburger, and you're not impressed.
It's been a long time, but I'm not that impressed. I'd like to try it again, though. Not lying.
Bro, let's make a road trip. There's one right outside the California border in in Arizona.
Really?
Right across the border. It's only like 5 hours, bro. We can do it.
That's it.
For a burger. Let's go.
A burger. All right, so you sold me there. Only 5 hours for a burger.
Hey, I love Whataburger, man. That is
really?
one of my fondest memories of when I've gone to Texas is stopping at a Whataburger and getting food with my cousins or my uncle, may he rest in peace. To me, that's like my Texas home, meal over there is eating brisket, ribs, and getting some Whataburger. So my dad, I know he'll be over there. He'll be telling me, "Oh, El Pato, a little El Pato taco stand that they had over there in Mission, Texas." Shout out to Texas. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I mean, I wish they would bring. I know why they're not going to bring it to California because we got In-N-Out, and that would be a death sentence to them. But I think it'd be nice if they brought one closer. But we'll have to see. Maybe In-N-Out has too much of a monopoly in California on that one.
Yeah. Plus, already the Five Guys are here, right?
Oh yeah,
it's another one that everybody really likes.
I'm not a fan. I've tried it.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Same way I feel about Whataburger.
Hush.
Nah, well, not a fan. It's been such a long time. I can't remember it, to be honest.
I gotcha. What else we got going on here, dude? Starting next week, we'll be diving into. Oh, yeah, I was gonna talk about that. Starting next week, we're gonna dive more into the power rankings, taking a little bit more of an in-depth look at the upcoming football season. Football season is back, everybody. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for some football?
Not yet. I'm not ready, to be honest.
You're not? Still doing baseball season? All right.
Yeah.
We got a couple.
Because I still don't have, I'm not hardcore about, one specific team, you know?
Yeah. What else we got going on right now? The New Orleans? Is that the Saints or just New Orleans in general?
Yeah, the Saints. Read the whole damn thing.
Will require vaccination or a negative test to attend Saints games. I think. I mean, you have to protect yourself. I mean, a lot of places are doing it. I mean, this is just a really big situation where they're doing it. I know that I'm supposed to go to a beer festival in LA next month sometime, and they're requiring you to have your vaccine card to prove that you've been vaccinated and or have a negative test within 3 days of the event. So this isn't something that's. I mean, if this is the way things are going to go, then if you want to go to do things that require you to either have a negative test or a vaccine, then that's just kind of what you're going to have to do to be able to go do these things. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Jelly Bean.
Exactly
what you mean.
Somebody brought this up. Go ahead.
I like it. So the people that are going to have problems with it are the people that are not vaccinated.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those are the people that are going to be having problems with it. I like the idea. It does not bother me. But again, I'm vaccinated. So,
yeah,
you know, there's only one side of the coin there that's going to be really upset about this.
Well,
you know?
a lot of people,
so, good idea.
And I heard this, and I don't want to get too political, right? But a lot of people that I was hearing, they were talking about how they feel like this is like segregation, or this is like putting them down because they don't want to get vaccinated, or they don't want to do, they don't want to wear masks or whatever. And and to me, it's like, no, it's not the same fucking thing.
All right.
Like, segregation is completely different. Like, you're choosing to not get vaccinated. You're choosing not to wear a mask. You're choosing not to go get a test if you want to go do this thing. Like, that's your choice. You have a choice in this matter. Segregation and all that other stuff, people of color had no choice in being, brown or black or whatever. You know what I mean? We had no opportunity to change what we want, what they wanted. I was like,
Michael Jackson.
Except, Sammy Sosa. He's now pink.
Sammy, you're right.
Sammy went from brown to pink. But it's just one of those things where, guys, look, we don't tell you to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine. What we tell you is to be safe. And if the places that you want to go are telling you need one of two things, you need a vaccine or you need a negative test, then either go get a vaccine or get your negative test so you can go do these things. If you don't want to do those two things, then don't go to this event. Go somewhere else and watch it from home. Stay at home and watch it. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, Artie. What do you think?
Yep. You don't gotta go. You got choices. You might not like them, but you got choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We live in a country where you get choices. Just choices that you don't like, doesn't matter. You still got choices. Carson Wentz, he's looking pretty good, huh? He said he might be ready for opening day.
Well, he got hurt, right?
Yeah, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. He fucked up his foot. He had surgery on it.
Yeah, but they were talking about bringing Phillip Rivers out of retirement and stuff like that. So I found that interesting that he might be back before the season ends.
Do you think Rivers comes back?
Man, I kind of get the feeling that he is going to come back somewhere. I
personally would love to have Phillip Rivers backing up Dak Prescott. If Prescott gets hurt, we got Phillip Rivers right there.
Right. Yep. What do you mean if?
Jerry Jones, you hear me right now? Go sign Phillip Rivers as a backup. He'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of get to the next one.
Dak Prescott is in danger, having another MRI on his shoulder, getting a baseball specialist to look at the rotator cuff. Already said has on here a lot of bad signs. So until I hear this dude's fucked up, this is all precautionary.
My ass.
Did you watch the episode of the Hard Knocks?
No.
Okay, they talk about when he got hurt, and Jerry Jones was talking to the doctor, and he's like, "So what's up?" And obviously they're gonna spin it for TV and stuff like that. But
Right.
basically, the doctor said, like, "Look, man, he's just a little sore. He hasn't been throwing the way he's been throwing. He probably threw more than he should have. He's still got to get warmed up. He's still got to get in that football condition." But they talked to the Yankees pitching coaches and staff, and the Rangers pitching coaches and staff, to kind of get their opinion on the rotator cuff and the shoulder and stuff like that for the throwing motion. And so they're going over things. But according to what coaches said and what Jerry Jones has said and what Prescott has said, this is all precautionary. They just want to make sure they don't rush him back too fast because they need him for the season. So until it's serious, it ain't serious.
Glad you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
I will drink it all day and twice on Sunday, sir.
Your team, not mine.
Yeah.
Didn't they lose like a defensive end or something like that? Something on their
defensive
line?
lineman yesterday is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a dislocated elbow.
Oh, caused by his own teammate, right?
I do believe he was in the second group, so our first string guys are still good. But he is one of those guys that goes in and takes some snaps in too. So hopefully he gets back sooner than later. Hopefully it's 4 weeks and not 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully Dak plays.
Hopefully, I'm hoping. Let's see. The sports book is coming to the NFL Cardinal Stadium. Can you elaborate on that? You're the one to put that one down.
That's all I know. What are your thoughts on in-house the actual game, like being able to bet, dude? To me, that's kind of crazy, no?
It is pretty wild to think that I can go to a game and make bets at the same time. I don't think it's a good thing because, I mean, you're gonna be drinking. It's a football game, bro.
Yeah,
like you're gonna be
true.
pre-gaming hard before you go in there.
Yeah, I know what the rules are gonna be.
Yeah, there's got to be certain things that they have to stipulate. You can't be fucked up. You can't do this. You can't do. There's got to be certain stipulations, like you said, to be able to do that. But I think, I mean, you're just taking two things that kind of go together and do it at the same time. It's just going to have to be very careful to make sure that, like, the players aren't putting bets in and the coaching staffs aren't playing bets in, stuff like that. So it'll just be it's to not have another Pete Rose situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you're going to allow for it to happen, and you're giving it the opportunity to happen, I should say. And you're gonna. I mean, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have another Pete Rose scandal, I think.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting. I want to see the stipulations. There's always guidelines, and that's really what I want to see how that works out. I don't think any of that player stuff's gonna be involved with that, because let me tell you, players already bet on games, bro. They just have their cousins or brothers or something like that do it. Let me just tell you.
Uncles, twice
it is. They have to, right?
Yeah.
They have to. Like, there's just no way. You can't tell me every single professional athlete in the world does not gamble, like on sports. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I couldn't tell you that, sir. That's not me. Don't put words in my mouth.
I don't believe it for one bit, dude. Every single one of them gambles in some way or some fashion. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you got
all
that
even
kind of
on
money.
their own sport. Yeah, especially on their own sport.
Yeah.
I think they do it.
What's going on here with the Saints and Michael Thomas, sir?
So I had seen that the Saints and Michael Thomas hadn't been talking because remember he had like all those issues last year, where he was injured. He really just didn't play. Contracts issues. Let me tell you, this is a dude I'm staying away from. I drafted him last year in one league, maybe two. Oh my God, he's just the worst decision I ever made. With that. Only thing worse I could think of is like Le'Veon Bell, and holding out. That was probably the worst of the worst. So he's right up there with Le'Veon for me. And now I'm definitely staying away from this dude. Like, so apparently there's a rift between Michael Thomas and the Saints, and it's getting wider and wider. Like, dude, why does the NFL have so many prima donnas, dude? Like, and is it me or is it it's usually like with the wide receivers are the worst or no?
I think because they have a lot of yes people around them. that like, bro, you're like the best fucking wide receiver in the league, bro. How are they not doing this, and this for you?
Okay.
Hey, bro, like, why? You know, when you surround yourself with that type of individuals, like, you're gonna get that mentality yourself. Like, hey, I'm the fucking best fucking thing. And if you think about it, other than running backs and quarterbacks, who are the biggest like the big spotlight guys, is the fucking receivers who are catching those big, highlight fucking passes. They're in the line. Oh shit, they're being talked about as one of the best receivers in the league. One of they're like, all they're doing is their ego is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, it's like, bro, you're gonna get fucking brought back down to earth at some point.
Okay. All right. I like that. Good explanation.
I do what I can sometimes,
Would you draft him? You're gonna give him the old Lamar Jackson treatment.
If I think he's gonna get the Lamar Jackson treatment, and he's gonna drop down a bit. I think somebody who's not paying attention is gonna pick him up early, but anybody else who's paying attention, if anything, pick him up early. Not super late, but late.
So what's late, bro? Because he's a first rounder.
6. 5,
6 round?
5, 6.
Shut up,
bro. If he's having problems right now, it's not even the season. The season hasn't even gone yet. When do you think he's gonna go?
Guarantee you, there is no league he makes it to the 6th round.
Where do you think he goes? 3rd?
I think he goes late 1st or early 2nd.
Even with the big rift.
Round. Even with the big rift.
All right, we'll see.
Late 1st, early 2nd.
All right, you heard it here
There's
first.
There's no way he makes it to the 3rd. If he's in the 3rd, I'll take his ass in the 3rd. Every single damn time. Every time.
Every time. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys, and we'll be right back. We'll talk about some baseball. We got some pretty awesome MLB stuff with Ohtani going on right now. So we'll be right back, guys. Enjoy the commercial. All right, guys, welcome back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed whatever commercial you guys got, and we're back talking some baseball. We were talking heavy on football at the end there, but now we're talking back to baseball here. And before we go and do anything else, we're going to talk about Ohtani. And Artie sent me this the other day while he was on the crapper. He was up earlier than me for once. He sent me this thing. It's called Ohtani, or it's called The Gift. Tom Verducci narrated it, and I'm going to play it for you guys. If you guys haven't heard it yet or haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But if you guys haven't, I'm going to play it right now. It's about 4 minutes and like 45 seconds long, guys, so you guys bear with us. Go ahead and take a look, because we want to talk about it, but we want to make sure that you guys know what we're talking about as we're talking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, guys, and then Artie. And then,
it's not as serious as Brent's voice is making it sound out to be.
It's not.
He just likes to.
I like to pump up my
Angel fans.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and listen real quick, and then we'll be right back.
On the hills of Kamagaya, 20 miles from Tokyo, Nashi pears have grown for more than 500 years. So revered are Nashi pears that they are given as gifts. In this same community in 2012, another gift took root. Fresh out of high school, Shohei Ohtani reported to Kamagaya Training Complex to begin his pro baseball career. His manager, Hideki Kuriyama, gave him a challenge: be both a hitter and a pitcher. Kuriyama told him, travel down a path no one else walked down. A dream was born 9 years later. It is in full blossom, and it is as spectacular as the white blossoms of Nashi pear trees.
And that one ain't coming back! Tip your cap, Shohei Ohtani. You deserve it.
More than 22,000 men have played Major League Baseball. Ohtani is the first to hit more than 30 homers and pitch 15 games in the same season, and he did so before August. Not even Babe Ruth did it in 1918 and 1919, the only 2 years that Babe was a regular two-way player. This is one time when hyperbole becomes fact. Nobody has seen anything like it.
A bullet into the bleachers by Ohtani.
There is wonder just in the doing, but there is amazement in how well it is done.
He is not human.
Ohtani played 5 years in Japan with a season high of 22 home runs. He left Japan to follow his two-way dream in the majors. His first 3 seasons with the Angels were compromised by Tommy John and knee surgeries. Now, for the first time, he is playing at full health and under no restrictions.
Let's take a ride with another Shohei Homer.
Ohtani has hit 6 home runs that traveled more than 450 feet, more than anybody in baseball.
Shohei, way, Sayonara. Where did that land?
And that same slugger also leads the Angels in stolen bases.
Shohei's gone again. He swiped that one.
And he has the highest strikeout rate of any starting pitcher in Angels history, including the great Nolan Ryan. In one stretch in June, Ohtani hit 11 home runs in 44 at-bats.
Sayonara, Ohtani-san.
In the same stretch, he struck out 22 batters in 17 innings, including one game when the Giants swung and missed 21 times.
Got him. I love that reaction.
He is baseball's Venn diagram, hitting, pitching, and that sweet intersection when the circles overlap.
The Angels win!
On July 26th, Ohtani knocked in the first run with a single. He stole second base. He dashed home with the second run, and he pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball without a walk.
Got him swinging.
And on the last of 99 pitches that night, Ohtani unleashed a fastball at 100 miles per hour for a strikeout.
Fastball, 100.
The dirt-stained pitcher, the best player on the field, the big kid who hits harder and throws harder than all the others. That's the classic tableau of the dominating little leaguer. And of all the many descriptions and adjectives and exaltations that try to capture what we are watching, that most basic one may be the best. In an age of specialization, Ohtani plays Major League Baseball like a little leaguer. You hit, you run, you pitch, you have fun. Of the many skills of Ohtani, his greatest is inspiring us to rediscover a piece of our 12-year-old selves. He is playing the kind of baseball we first fell in love with, like the Nashi pair. Ohtani is best appreciated as a simple gift, a symbol of good fortune, a natural wonder.
All right, we're back. So, I mean, my favorite part of that, Artie, and I thank you for sharing that with me the first time. My favorite part of that is basically very simple. Very simply, he is like that little leaguer, that one kid who was a little bit bigger than everybody, who threw harder and hit better than everybody. And it's just, you get to see that, in the big leagues now, and it's pretty fun to be able to watch that. Granted, I know where the Angels are as far as the season goes, and it's not looking very good whatsoever. But there is a little bit of a shining light, and his name is Ohtani. And, I mean, he's doing things that nobody else has done in a very, very, very long time together. He has the all-time single-season home run record by a Japanese-born player. He has 16 stolen bases now, 38 home runs. He very well could get 20 stolen bases and 40 home runs. He's definitely in the talks for MVP.
I've been at 60 home runs.
What happened? I don't know. At this point,
60 ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening anymore. 50 maybe.
No, I never thought it was happening.
Oh,
I never thought.
50.
For the record, I never, ever.
For the first time, Artie actually talks into the microphone instead of talking towards the microphone.
Making sure, because I making sure you're, because I know your dude thought he was gonna hit 62. What was his name? I'm trying to blank right now.
Who? Trout?
No.
Who?
Our guest, speaker a couple weeks ago.
Oh, Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua thought he was gonna get 60 for sure
Hey,
too.
it's
Like,
that home run derby hangover, man. He hadn't hit one in a minute. It'd been
he
like
was, dude. Even if he didn't play in it, he was not gonna get 60. Let me break it down for you. He was not gonna get 60. Is very hard to do. Non-juice players to ever hit 60 home runs. Name them.
I can't tell you that.
Babe Ruth and Roger Maris.
Oh,
That's it.
I was thinking like recently, dude. My bad. But yeah,
That's it.
And Roger Maris lost a bunch of his hair, super stressed out.
Yep.
Never got close to it again after that.
Yep. So that's not gonna happen. But I'm shooting for him. I'm rooting for him for 50. I'm not gonna lie. I'm at the very least I'm rooting for him to break the DH record.
What was it again? 40,
46, I think.
46, yeah. I was gonna say 48, but 46 sounds right.
46, yeah. So he's got to hit 47, I think, to break it. Maybe 47 and 48 breaks it, but I mean it's right there.
Yeah.
Very doable, but he's not even at 40 yet, and we're already approaching September. So
Yeah, he's gonna have to go on a fucking tear. But thank you.
Which he could.
He could. I mean, it could happen. Thank you to Tom Verducci and MLB Network, by the way. I gotta let for them. They're the ones that put that together. Thank you for putting together such an amazing narrative on Shohei Ohtani. So thank you.
Yeah, that was really nice. I'll give you that. Like when I saw it, that was pretty damn amazing. It makes you think of like that little leaguer, that all of us at one point were,
Yeah.
And he brings kind of that little league feel to it, like to a pro game where he's hitting and pitching. That's what little leaguers do.
Absolutely.
And he's doing it well, Like growing up, most of the time, our best player on the team was our best pitcher on the team was our best hitter on the team.
Yeah.
Most of the time growing up. Once in a while it wasn't, but for the most part it was,
Yeah, it's like Verducci said, in that Venn diagram of baseball, you have your pitchers and your hitters, and he's right in the middle where they cross. And it's like it's not very much, but it does bring you back of flashes of Little League where you do have that guy going both ways, hitting and fucking pitching, and him being that one kid. He reminds me of Benny the Jet Rodriguez in the Sandlot, right?
Benny never pitched. No.
But I'm just
I would
saying,
disagree,
like,
but
as he's the bigger
Benny was a
kid-
righty.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw something at you guys. I swear to God. But he reminds me of like he's the one little leaguer, like he was the best little leaguer on that team. Like, you know what I mean? He's the guy, the bigger, faster, stronger guy. You know what I mean? It's just it's one of those things.
I don't know what you mean, but I think I know what you're trying to say.
That's
Right.
and then at the end of the day, I got my point across, and that's all that matters. All right, jumping from Ohtani and the Angels to the Dodgers here. The Mets fan flashed Max Muncy. No, not like that, guys. A Mets fan flashed Muncy in the top of the ninth inning with a runner on second and 2 outs and 2 strikes. It was deuces wild there, as Vin would say. With the game tied, with a green laser pointer, Muncy took it upon himself to stop the game and tell the umps what was going on. There's one thing to heckle or taunt players of the opposing team, right? But I think there's no room for this kind of thing in the game. There are some lasers that could actually do some serious and permanent damage if shined in your eyes, man. What do you think as a Dodger fan? What do you think about that kind of trash move by the Mets fans?
Yeah, I think it sucks. John Boy did a really good job of breaking that all down.
Mm-hmm.
I found it to be really interesting. And then I saw a photo somewhere else that they actually had flashed the pitcher too.
Really?
But maybe it was a doctored photo, but that the pitcher that was pitching at the time was Edwin Diaz. So Muncy first had it flashed on him on like his body one time, and then afterwards they kind of flashed it on him again, but this time in his face. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, but I think it's stupid, dude. It's people that want attention and stuff like that,
I was
for whatever reason.
Yeah, I was reading the comments on that, right? And I saw a bunch of people were like, "Well, have you been to Dodger Stadium? Have you seen how those fans get?" Yeah, but you know what, man? They never interfere.
Stop. This was in Met Stadium.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
In the comment section of the story,
Trying to flip it.
yeah, no, they were trying to like, oh, well, you should see how the Dodger fans are, and it's not. But yeah, but the Dodger fans don't ever interfere with the ball players like that.
Yeah, we just mess up the opposing
the fans. The
up-
fans get
yeah, the fans
into it with other
opposition.
fans. That's completely different from messing with somebody who's playing a game on the field, especially in such a pivotal point in the game. 2 outs, one on second with 2 strikes, and Muncy batting of all people.
Right.
Right?
And then he struck out like the next pitch, too.
Yeah, I know.
Which kind of throws you off, though, you know,
It
because it
does.
gets you all.
You're in your rhythm, and it ain't good. It ain't kosher. Don't do that, guys. I hope that guy,
Yeah.
whoever it was, got kicked out and he got banned for at least a while, or if
Right.
not permanently. So
I heard he did it, though, so I don't know.
I don't think they found who it was.
Yeah.
Because he did a really good job of hiding it.
Right.
They showed like a little thing where like, oh, it's over here somewhere where you can kind of see the green flash or whatever. But they're like, you can't really tell who it was. You'd have to like get like 6 people there and be like, okay, which one of you motherfuckers did it? But anyways,
Right.
from one New York team to the other, Anthony Rizzo, the latest New York Yankees player to test positive for COVID-19. At least 85% of the New York players are vaccinated, resulting in the loosening of their restrictions, right? But the Yankees still have been hit hard. Gary Sanchez, Garrett Cole, and Jordan Montgomery, along with Anthony Rizzo, also tested positive. Coach Boone said he thought it came out of Florida since the Yankees had just finished playing 6 games against the Rays and the Marlins. And we know how bad COVID right now is hitting Florida. Since they are loosening the restrictions, do you think they're going to tighten those things back up again?
I would imagine so, because they're playing with fans, right? They're trying not to take that away.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, think about it. We're just a year away, bro, removed from like them playing in empty stadiums. You know, a lot of people forget that. That was a year ago, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, there's something. I don't know. I feel like it's a volcano waiting to erupt a little bit again. No, don't you kind of get that feeling
I
with
feel like
this,
it's
especially with the variant? You know, the Delta variant.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel like
I
there's
don't
going to be
get that feel.
a big explosion again. It's
yeah. It's just a ticking time bomb. I don't know, whatever else analogy you want to put on it, but that's what it kind of feels like for me. You know,
yeah.
like for me.
No, I'm with
Could
you.
be
I'm
wrong.
with you, man. It's we're on the brink of another shutdown, I think, and I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't happen, but we're leaning in that direction, unfortunately.
Yep. And now they're forcing everything like upon people, like, you know, okay, if you're a state official, like me and the comadre, you know, like you either have to have your vaccine or you have to have a weekly test showing that you're negative.
Yeah.
And I was telling my students, my opinion, I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to put the vaccine as one of the things you have to have in order to start school again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a trickle down effect from the high school level until it gets cleared all the way down to the elementary level.
Right.
And I think people that don't have it are going to be restricted to online learning only.
I think people forget why we have vaccines and why, you know, all this happens. I mean, we had this one pandemic one time. It's called polio, and then we got the polio vaccine, and then we don't got polio no more. It's only
Right.
that people stopped taking the polio vaccine that polio started coming back. There is a causation and correlation between the two. It's the same thing with the COVID, man. Like, if you're not vaccinated, I mean, what they say, like 98% of the people who are dying and sick right now are the people who are non-vaccinated. And I don't know how many stories I've read where the person's dying and they're like, give me the vaccine, give me the vaccine. And they're like, well, it's fucking too late now. I mean,
You're right.
I'm obviously paraphrasing there, right? But at that point, it's too fucking late, man.
Right.
If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for people around you. Just take care of yourself. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's your prerogative. You live in the free states of the United States. Do what you want to do, but at the same time, don't be upset when the things that you want to do are requiring certain things to be done before you can go and do those things, like have a vaccine or do weekly tests or whatever it might be. You can't get mad because people are trying to stay safe. So, anywho,
With you.
we keep jumping back on that box, man. We gotta let that box go. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, at the Dodger game, we were talking about the Dodgers, right? The Dodger game the other day. A fan ran out in the field and eluded several security officers. As he ran towards the stand trying to get away, he was met by the shoulder of a Dodgers ball girl and then proceeded to, and forgive the phrase, guys, but it's the only way I know how to say it, but he got midget flipped over the railing and over that guardrail or whatever, and he was promptly arrested and taken away. The ball girl rose shortly after the hit, dusted herself off, and was ready to play the next play, or was ready for the next play. Don't mess with the Dodgers ball girls, guys. They make their own gloves, and they can lay you out. So claps to her for fucking knocking this fool out.
Angels ball girl would never.
They're guys, but whatever.
Oh, okay. So you can't even. You're sexist.
I'm not sexist. I'm just saying the Angels have ball guys,
Your team
ball
is
boys,
Sexist.
whatever. Yesterday we had the Field of Dreams game between the Yankees and the Red Sox in the cornfield in Iowa. The game was the most watched game in MLB this year and ever for a non-playoff game. It was not without its magic. From Kevin Costner walking out of the cornfield and giving a thrilling speech, to watching the Yankees and the Sox players come out of the cornfield as well, to the top of the ninth inning heroics by the Bronx Bombers to tie up the game, to the moment where Tim Anderson in the bottom of the ninth inning hit the most perfect opposite field home run to win the game. The whole experience was awe-inspiring, and I hope this isn't the last time, at least in my opinion, that the MLB takes a trip to the Field of Dreams. Artie, where do you see MLB playing again next? Do you think they go back to the Field of Dreams and do this again? Or where in the thematic world would you like to see them play another game? I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, I think it'd be out of the question though. But for them to see them play in the Sandlot, I would like to see like the Dodgers and the Giants go. Something like a nice big rivalry would be able to go play out there. Where would you like them to go play next, or where would you dream like it'd be awesome if they played here?
Where did the rookie, where his little field in Texas?
Oh, it was wasn't it with the Twins? Oh no, that was the other movie.
No, it was Tampa Bay, but he was in Texas. He's from Texas, his high school.
Oh yeah, and then he got picked up by Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he got to Tampa Bay.
Rosenbager.
The Sandlot, they'd have to obviously put some kind of factors in it because it can't be as crappy as that. But the rest of it, they could kind of basically recreate. I really like the whole setup. Like the whole setup of the Field of Dreams thing was like so cool, with the exception of Kevin Costner had taken half an hour to walk over to the stadium. Like, while it was cool to see him walk in, I didn't need to see him run in. Well, this bro, and Kevin Costner's my dude. Let me tell you, because he's a Titan, right? He's a Cal State Fullerton Titan. But let me tell you, this dude was stopping like every 5 steps, and I'm like, hey, bro, we got a gameplay. Like, let's get to it.
Yeah, I think
stop
he was
once
doing
or
it
twice,
for,
but geez,
for the dramatic effect.
Yeah,
him walking out.
Annoy me. So yeah, of course he was being told to do that, hey, slow down. So he probably had an earpiece or something like, hey, we need this aerial shot here. Stay still.
It was fun. It was fun watching the guys run out of there and then go and shaking his hand. Garrett Cole went over there, gave him a baseball.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
But they did such an awesome job of promoting it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the setup, all of this was. And then the gameplay itself was like pretty damn amazing, especially the finish that it had. Was like, wow, did that just happen? Is this is this heaven? No, it's Iowa, right?
They kept playing fucking Darth Vader, James Earl Jones.
Oh, okay.
They kept playing him like him talking about it's baseball, it's romantic, it's the game or whatever, and it's just it was a great good job baseball, good job Major League Baseball. You got one right.
Yeah, I also thought there was a good interview with Bob Costas and Costner himself, and there's one thing that I thought Kevin Costner said that was pretty cool. He's like, I remember playing when this game was called hardball at the time, like that. This feels like a game of hardball instead of a game of baseball. He's like, it's like really a throwback, Yeah. Like he's and that's what I really feel this game is going to be. And you know what? In some ways, it did feel like it. Yeah. Like my opinion, I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I like the whole setup. I like everything. I like the whole setup. Obviously, we had a dramatic finish to the game, and it was pretty damn impressive,
Yeah, the game definitely. It was just great. It was a really great thing to watch. If you guys, for some reason, didn't get a chance to watch it or the highlights, just go back, look it up. It's online. I think it's on YouTube. You can watch it, and it was really good. It was really good, man. I'd like to see them go back and do it again. I think it's just it was nice to see it.
Right. Yeah. Totally agree. So, what about you? Where did you like to see it played at?
like I said, I mean, I'd love to see them go back and do that again. Different teams, obviously.
Yeah, different teams for sure.
Or have like the White Sox, since they won, they get to stay there and they got to play somebody else now. And then whoever wins gets to hold on to it.
Play them. Yeah. Maybe make it like an inter squad type of thing too.
Oh, they could do that. That'd be awesome.
Like I mean, I'm sorry, interleague game.
Yeah,
Interleague game. So maybe like a powerhouse team of someone that doesn't play often, very like old school teams like a Chicago and Boston. You know, they don't play very often, right?
That'd be really good.
Obviously, right now with Chicago abandoning ship with all their good players and stuff, probably wouldn't be a good time, but still.
But no, I'm with you there. Some
franchises,
classic franchises, the Dodgers and the Yanks. That'd be nice,
right? Yeah, something like that. Someone that it's going to hold the audience,
or even Dodgers in Boston.
Right.
That'd be nice. San Francisco, Boston would be pretty good too.
Yeah.
But like
maybe
I said,
maybe they even have them use like their throwback uniforms, like if they goes like Giants and Boston or
that'd
something.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the Sandlot would be awesome. They'd have to obviously make some changes. Obviously, they can't have bushes and shit in the outfield.
Right.
And it won't be all dirt. So, but it would be awesome to be able to recreate most of that and to be able to go play over there. So, I think I'm with you there, and that would be my choice to be able to see them do that. Or maybe put together, maybe bring back like an Ebbets Field.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I said, that'd be pretty cool. I was gonna suggest maybe for next week we could come up with like a list of like 3 fields we'd like to see created or something like that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, to come back and play. Absolutely. I'm down with that. We'll do that for next week.
Yeah.
What else we got going on here? The Rockies had that issue. People were saying that there was a fan who yelled a racial slur, and it got caught live on TV. After some investigation.
Yeah.
It actually turned out, so the Rockies, their mascot, what's the name of the mascot?
Dinger.
Dinger.
Like home runs, dinger.
Yeah, like he hit a dinger. So he was just outside of view of the camera when obviously they heard it, but they went back and checked the different angles or whatever, and you could see him. The guy was pointing at him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's yelling, "Dinger! Dinger!" People thought they heard something else. Right?
Right. And if you don't see the video and you just hear it, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see how.
Yeah. Like if you're listening for it, you're gonna hear it. Like
right. I agree.
And then you see the
and
video.
You know what? One thing. Okay. Yeah, and one thing that they said too was that the players didn't react. They never thought that somebody was yelling a racial slur at all, and they were obviously right there because the dude was right. Like he had really nice seats, you know?
Yeah. He was right behind home plate.
Yeah, he was right behind home plate. Yeah, and they're like, the players didn't think he was saying a racial slur. So I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, I call bullshit, right? But then I saw it, and then I was reading the reports. Yeah, the players were like, hey, we didn't hear that, you know?
Yeah. So everything's cool. Colorado, everything's fine.
Yeah. Because they were like all up in arms about that first, you know. They're like, we'll find this person. There's an investigation going on, and blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out to be what it is. So I would imagine that like the Mets are the ones that should be like on something, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll find you.
You put something nice next. I'll let you go ahead and take the next one.
Yeah, I put, was that Brent throwing in the Texas Rangers games? Nope, it wasn't. But it was Brock Holt who threw a 31-mile-per-hour strike for the slowest called pitch in MLB history that's been tracked.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? It was like the Ephus of Ephus.
That pitches. Was the Ephus pitch.
Right.
I thought it was great to see him go out there and throw the ball. I know he threw a couple like 70-mile-an-hour fastballs, quote unquote.
80s, I think it was low 80s. Yeah, man.
So I mean, but it was a lot more fun to watch the ball players kind of like did you just really like just lob that up, bud? Like seriously, you threw like a slow pitch softball one of those rainbow pitches. It just never come down.
Jeez, that's. But you know what? The announcers, I heard them like set that up. Dude, he was practicing that. Like in the bullpen.
Really?
Or in like warm-ups. They were saying, hey, we saw him practicing that pitch. Because I mean, it takes some skill, believe it or not, to still throw that pitch.
For a
You know?
strike, yeah.
Yeah. So I was impressed, man. I was impressed, and I think I was more impressed when I saw that he came back with like 80, and I was like, "Oh damn, he didn't just go up there trying to lob stuff."
Yeah. Well, right on, right on. So thank you for the dig. At the same time, it was a good thing to watch, right? I think that's all we got right now. Got anything else pop in your
Yeah.
head before we get out of here?
All right. What do you think the Dodgers win the division? I think that if they don't cut it to like 3 games, they don't win by September. They don't win that division.
Man, I told you before. I think the Dodgers are taking one of the wild cards. I think the Giants are going to end up. We had this discussion like 4 weeks ago. You're like, who do you think from these people are going to definitely be? And I said the Giants, and you were like, motherfucker, what?
I didn't say that. So see, here's where you're misconstructing.
Misconstructing.
I said win the division, not make the playoffs.
Right.
Playoffs. You know, the Angels don't make. It's like, I get it. Angels don't make playoffs often. It's
Yeah.
hard to comprehend everything
I
else.
do.
But
I
the division, I don't care about making the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, homie. We're gonna be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. If
But
they don't
winning the
if they
division.
don't cut it to 3 games by in the next 2 weeks, I don't think they win the
But
division, man.
It
The
feels like
Giants-
every damn time I see the Dodgers win, I check to see if the Giants won, and the Giants won. And every time we lose, the Giants either win or lose. And I'm like, damn it. But, you know,
catch a
like
break.
literally yesterday happened again.
many
You know,
games
the
back
Dodgers
are
won
you?
a thriller. Well, I was gonna check to see if they lost, but I was pretty sure they won, which they did. They won 5-4. And now checking the standings, and they're 5 games back. You know, so I always think, man, you gotta be within 3. I mean, you could always go like, on a good run, right?
Mhm.
But man, dude, so
I mean, and
yeah,
by all
man.
accounts, the Dodgers are doing great.
Yeah,
It's just that the Giants happen to be having one of those years.
right.
I'm with you there. I'm going to go with you. If they don't cut it to 3 games by September, I don't think they take the division. There's always that possibility. You know what I mean? Something could happen. COVID could happen. Fucking somebody gets hurt, whatever, and the Giants lose 3, 4, 5 games, and the Dodgers win, 3-4, and they take over. But it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. I could see it coming down to the wire. The Giants, taking the division with 1 game, 2 games.
Right. Yeah.
Who do the Dodgers play at the end? Do they play the Giants at the end?
Usually, yeah, in September.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be the big series right there. It's going to tell you who's going to take it or not. The Dodgers sweep them there. I mean, they come back, and that's that's only a 1-game difference at that point. Changes the game.
Yep. I don't know, man. I just still would be in much better position or more comfortable. I mean, we still got a couple weeks. We're halfway through August, basically.
Yeah.
So, but you want to be around 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be around 3 because anything more than 3 is kind of hard to win that division. Because then I feel like at 3, the team that's at 3 controls their own fate. You know?
I'm with you there. All right, Papi Chulo. Anything else?
Nah, man. That's all I got for everybody this week that I could think of. You know, Trey Turner. Oh, I don't know if you saw that amazing slide.
Oh,
That has to be one of the most amazing slides I've ever seen.
Talk about
Bro,
Ken
like
Griffey
they
Jr. has
should have played the
sweetest
song
swing.
"Smooth Criminal" when he did that.
Oh, bro.
dude. Like
Oh, my
"Smooth
God.
Criminal."
If you guys haven't seen it, go take a look at it. But if
Right?
Ken Griffey's got the sweetest swing, he's got the sweetest slide, bro.
That was the sweetest
It was
slide.
just
It didn't
so-
even look real. I had to see it over
I watched
dude,
it like
like
50 times, man. It was
easily, right?
It was
Easily.
Oh my god, it was the smoothest.
And it's not that he was a Dodger, dude. It's just
No,
that
no, no,
slide
no,
was
no.
just impressive.
I'm with
And it
you
was a
there.
bang bang play at home too, and he
was.
made it look
He
like
just kinda
nothing.
just like, meh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him the old
Crazy.
Leon.
yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
it was absolutely, dude. If you guys don't get a chance, go take a look at that. I mean, it's one of, if not the greatest, smoothest slide on a bang bang play at home that you're ever gonna
Right.
see.
For sure.
All right, guys. I got nothing else. I wrote everything down that I could, and we'll be back next week, Mr. Compadre. Let's hear that famous "Artie goodbye."
Yeah, let's hey, it's getting heavy out there. You know, one of my cousins he just got intubated. So, you know, we're praying for him. He's like my little brother. He's like your Andy is the equivalent. You know, I came
shit,
out on his
man.
wedding. pretty serious. I was telling the comadre about it.
Yeah.
So, and he's someone that didn't have the vaccine and didn't maybe not take the best precautions. And now he's fighting for his life. So when I tell you guys, like, hey, wash your hands, be careful, wear those masks when you have to, and take the vaccine or not, but you're going to live with the consequences one way or another. All right.
Yeah.
So I wish you guys nothing but the best and be safe out there.
All right, guys. Prayers out for your nephew or your cousin. I hope he pulls through and gets the care that he needs, man. Our prayers are with him, as I'm sure all of our listeners are as well. Speaking of which, thank you to everybody listening to us over the last year and a half, all around the world, including India, Russia, Argentina, Germany, Brazil, the United Kingdom, Italy, Venezuela, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, France, Netherlands, Chile, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Canada, Spain, Jordan, Poland, especially here in the United States, in Virginia, Minnesota, Texas, Arizona, New York, Ohio, Nevada, Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Maryland, Missouri, Washington, Illinois, Georgia, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, New Jersey, and of course our home state of California. Thank you guys all for listening to us while we ramble on about the stuff we love in sports. Thank you guys so much. Compadre, I will see you next week. You guys will hear us next week on Friday, but I'll see him on Saturday for our live draft. Everybody please be safe and have a good night.